friend or family member suffering from a terrible addiction to Substance D? Perhaps you're losing your grip on reality and
your sins will be read to you ceaselessly, in shifts throughout eternity. The list will...
Your relationships are suffering because of it? Then you need a new path. Here at New Path, you'll be free from the modern trappings of our modern world. Your movements won't be tracked, your phone calls unmonitored, because you won't get any. New Path is here to help you get better by helping us till our endless fields of drugs. I mean corn. New Path, your path to a new you. Welcome to Yesterday's Tomorrow Today and the past future world of Richard Linklater's A Scanner Darkly.
Welcome to Yesterday's Tomorrow Today, a podcast about movies whose futures have passed us by. I am one of your hosts, Kyle McVeigh.
I know, and I'm Joey Reinish.
Nice.
I forgot
You
almost.
You were doing such a good job engineering.
Yeah.
Good job. You were really in the fucking zone.
I was like, he hasn't thrown to me yet. I'm like,
oh God, I gotta panic. And joining us today is, of course, friend of the show, writer, beautiful person,
Aw.
lovely human being, Chad Quat.
Oh, hey guys. Welcome. Happy to be back.
welcome to Chad's show.
myself on
Welcome to
back
Chad.
on. Yeah.
Welcome
to me.
Welcome to me. Yes, Chad is. We had Chad back. You did The Purge last season,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
maybe one of my favorite episodes because we pitched 20 different Purge
God, we had
movies.
so many good purge.
We gotta
ideas.
go write these Purge movies.
Still need to. Let's just fuck this movie.
I did
Fuck
not-
this movie. Let's
I
just
did-
brainstorm more Purge
I
movies.
did not come from A Scanner Darkly going, I have new ideas for society or for feature films or storytelling from this.
I don't
film.
think we're. Well, I mean, I have an idea for one spin-off of A Scanner Darkly, but I don't think it's gonna generate as many ideas
Yeah.
as The Purge did. It's not quite a rich enough world. The mythology isn't quite as deep in A Scanner Darkly.
Is there any?
mythology.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's stuff that happened.
Things happen and
There-
it looks floaty.
there's a state of the world.
the fictionalized version of the world is not that different from a normal world, really. I
Yeah.
mean, people addicted, like, I don't know, opioid crisis. Let's
Yeah.
get real, guys. Like, yeah.
I guess it's only impressive that it's a Philip K. Dick novel that he like predicted that
Yeah.
like so long ago.
I guess
But-
I didn't look at it from that angle. I'm just like, this just seems like the most obvious, like, play-by-play of this, like, commentary of this, but it probably happened like 80 years before it was a thing.
I think the funniest thing about this movie, beyond just like the
Oh.
insane amount of work it must have taken to rotoscope this entire movie
Yeah.
back then,
Yeah.
like, is that it's set in Orange County.
Yeah. No, in my mind, it was Bakersfield. Before I
Yeah.
saw it again, I was like, yeah, he predicted
No.
Bakersfield 2020.
It's definitely like Huntington Beach or something
Yeah.
shitty like that, or Inland Empire.
Where
I
his,
guess.
like, slum house is
Yeah.
like a $2 million house.
Yeah, he's like
Uh,
outside of Irvine in like a $3 million house.
I read a little bit about it afterwards. I was like, where did this, like, why this story detail now? I'm sorry to talk about, like, the source of the book and the story movie.
I mean, we can talk about it.
Here, before you do, pull this a little closer
God
to you.
damn, okay, sorry, you're right. Yeah, I'll do that. How about this?
There you
You
go.
can
You
push,
sound
push
great.
this a little closer and then get the mic closer.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Get that pop filter.
Yeah.
Professional podcast.
There you go. We're doing it.
I record on a USB mic with nothing, guys.
Ah,
This is so legit.
Well.
It just shows quality doesn't matter.
It's
We think
appreciated.
about this often.
It's appreciated. And I was reading about Philip K. Dick when he wrote this book in the 70s.
Yes.
Okay, 70s.
And it was inspired by, it sounded like he was after his fourth marriage, which I was like, oh, Philip K. Dick, not great marriage history. You know, listen, it's hard to find love.
Well,
He's got too many
the guy,
things in his
the
brain.
guy fucks.
Yeah, right.
Like, he's got too much love for one person.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And after his fourth
That's
marriage,
what the serial monogamous say.
Yeah.
he was in a house clearly won the house in the divorce, and
Yeah.
he's like, I had all these rooms and all this space and no one. So he invited, quote, street people in to live with him.
What?
And he was already using methamphetamines to write and bragged about using writing 60 pages a day on it.
Damn,
But
I
then
gotta
got
get meth.
I know. I was like, oh, really?
Wow.
Productive.
Should I do
Damn.
meth?
Yeah.
And then got super into meth with these street people and
Yeah.
befriended them for a long period of time before eventually he got over it. And then
You just get over meth, huh?
yeah. Well, the way it was long way. He went to a rehab clinic. I forget blank on the name on it.
New path.
A new path.
Vaguely New Path. That was compared to a cult called Synanon. It was like a Canadian version of Synanon.
Okay, so I don't know what Synanon is, but I'm
Yeah.
not surprised because when New Path is introduced here, I was like, this is Scientology shit.
Yeah,
Going
but
on
apparently
here.
that was the major inspiration for what if the rehab clinics were the ones pushing the drugs.
Sure. Which, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's weird. Philip K. Dick was just like, I got addicted to meth, but I'm better now. Now I'll write a book about it. Like, what? What are you talking about? He's just
Yeah.
like, I let these street people in. And it's like, these are the people you were doing meth with. You already knew these people.
Yeah,
It's not like he
no,
went
stepped
outside under
outside.
an overpass. It was like, come with me.
People I've never met before,
Yeah.
never bought meth from before.
Yeah.
You
No
wanna
way. Oh, interesting. You had a divorce and then immediately created a meth den? Oh, I wonder why you got divorced.
Barnaby Jones.
Yeah,
Come live with me.
Barnaby Jones.
He just didn't want to have to go out for his meth.
It's
Yeah,
just,
It's
he's
like
just like,
in the extra room.
yeah, I mean, you can make it there.
What's basically that? It's that Breaking Bad plot a little bit. I know I'm talking to someone deeply.
I've never seen it.
As you're both friends, deep friends with Vince Gilligan.
Yeah.
BFFs.
But like when Jesse just has meth people just living in there,
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I get it. I just think it's funny in my regard. I wonder if he's like, I don't know why I got divorced. And he's like just doing meth 24/7, like around his kids and shit. He's like, but I'm so productive. This is how I make our money. This is how I pay for this fucking house.
60 pages in a day.
Do you want to fucking live? I'm creating a quality of life.
I don't think I've read a single Philip K. Dick book.
I don't know if I've actually ever read a full book either. Yeah.
This is our second Philip K. Dick inspired movie this
What else
season.
did you do?
Oh, right.
Bicentennial Man.
You wrote
Robin Williams.
Bicentennial Man?
Yes.
That's-
It's a novella, I think. That one is like a short. But yeah, he wrote Bicentennial Man because there's at the beginning, the Robin Williams robot,
Does meth.
he does meth.
Gets divorced, does meth.
I
It's
want
real
to be
weird
a
backstory.
robot so I can do meth
He
better.
pops out a little mouthpiece. He's like, smoke me. He does he goes through, he has a hologram presentation of the laws of robotics.
Oh, okay.
And like you're like, oh yeah, this is Philip K. Dick. That movie sucks and is so weird. And this movie
Kinda
sucks.
sucks.
Why do people keep fucking up? Well, I guess along the same lines,
Yeah.
I've never really read. I don't know if I've actually read a Philip K. Dick novel,
But so much stuff has been based off of his.
but so much stuff is based, and a lot of it is not good. And I think I was kind of mentioning this to you, Chad, on the way here. It feels like Linklater went to make this movie, and it feels like potentially, or the vibe I get, I
Yeah.
don't know if it is.
Yeah.
Someone tells us we're wrong. It feels almost like he was trying to make it too faithful
Yeah.
to the
Mhm.
book in a way where I'm like, I think you could have tweaked some things
Yeah.
for clarity, for ease of watch, for like, I think you could have changed, like, that's my only thought of why this thing is such a jumble,
Well,
is just because he was like, love this book.
part of it feels like he wants you to feel like the characters. Like, I want this to look
Sure.
and feel as if you
Yeah.
are Keanu,
Yeah.
Yes.
where everything is kind of
I didn't feel
floaty.
like Keanu.
I wish I was Keanu.
Let me rewind because I was telling you guys a little bit
Yeah.
before we started.
Yes.
I'm starting a job Monday. I went to see Monkey Man
Yes.
that morning,
Yes.
like the first showing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some substance. I went and saw Monkey Man.
Okay.
Drug D.
Just some
Substance
substance
D.
D. I got home. I did some Substance D again.
Yeah.
I watched Scanner Darkly, and this movie doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so I didn't realize until we started recording that neither of you had seen this movie before. I had
No.
seen this multiple times.
I was enthralled. But after a scene was over, I'm like, I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Like, this is as many notes as I wrote because I realized, like, at a certain point, I'm like,
4 things.
it doesn't fucking matter, you guys.
I wish I had taken Substance D because honestly, I was pretty bored rewatching this. Like,
I
there's some
was
long monologues.
I was also pretty bored. It was a bit of a bummer in terms of just like it's also
Rory Cochran's
nonsensical.
performance,
Rory Cochran's great.
Oh,
fucking
he's
best part of this
amazing.
movie.
insane.
By far the best.
To go from
how's that translating through like
I
the
don't know.
rotoscope? That means that's like how big he must have
Yeah.
been, right? In real life. Like,
someone told him like, oh, we're gonna turn this into cartoon, so he's like, oh, I gotta be like
I
Roger
have to
Rabbit.
act like a cartoon.
Yeah, he is doing a bigger
And
thing.
he does this thing
Yeah.
with his mouth where he's always like,
Yeah. It's great.
Realizing that was Lucas from Empire Records blew my mind.
I've never seen Empire Records
Oh,
or Scanner
well,
Darkly.
It's
It
a good
would
like
blow your mind.
teenage
Yeah.
stick it to the man in a
yeah.
light way.
Yeah,
I looked it
yeah.
up. I was like, that's not Robert Downey Jr., right? Because I knew he was in this and he
Yeah.
hadn't shown up yet.
Yeah.
Because like the first 10 minutes is just this guy. I'm like, we're spending a lot of time with this guy.
The-
I don't know who the fuck.
The
this is.
fact that I don't know, maybe you felt this more, Kyle, if you were
Mhm.
bored too. The fact that like I was like, oh, I remember the banter of Robert Downey Jr.'s character being so fun and like
Yeah.
Earth and Fire, and he just started talking to what was it, Frisk, Fruck,
Woody Harrelson.
Freck.
Freck,
Yeah.
Freck. And I was
In
like,
the diner.
it's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm so bored. Like
It-
I
it-
usually am a sucker for this.
It's well, that was kind of the thing is I was like, I hated pretty much everyone in this movie. And I really, really hated Robert Downey Jr. and Woody Harrelson's character.
I liked them.
I
liked-
think they
yeah.
suck.
I like Junior. I like that. I like Woody Harrelson's character. Downey
Ernie.
Jr. Yeah, Downey Jr.'s was it
Barris.
Barris.
Yeah.
Barris is playing like he's like a sociopath,
He's
like
clearly
a little wormly. Like I will backstab my friends.
Yeah.
but I
I'm-
think he's
yeah.
also fried. So I don't know
Yes.
if all of it is like malicious.
Yeah, they're all fried in like
So
a
I
way.
think he's just like somewhere else.
But it's
So,
like hyper evolving them a little
See,
bit though,
so,
right? Like
like-
Woody Harrelson's like a golden retriever.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey, he's like, I got a bike and like all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And like Robert Downey Jr.'s like, I will conspire and backstab everyone. I'm Littlefinger.
I'm gonna let people die.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't even know if he knew that's what he was doing.
I
I mean, he's trying to sell out.
I guess what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
I think Joe, you probably nailed it. Is like probably Linklater's goal was to make you feel like sort of burnt out and not really aware was what was going on. I will say that I think that is bad.
Yeah.
I think that is a bad way to tell a story. I totally understand it in
Conceptual.
theory, in concept. I think that is like when you talk it out. If he was to sit there and pitch that to me, I'd be like, fuck yeah. But then if I read this script, I'd be like, should we know things? Should we? Do you think we should know stuff and things should happen?
It did nail, I think, the drug paranoia really well. As someone
Yeah.
who has done substances before, I think
Yes.
the part of like Freck
D?
getting substance D getting pulled over by
Yeah.
a cop, like those
Yeah,
moments
sure.
like the paranoia
The
of like
literal like cartoon dream bubbles.
dream bubble. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna imagine the cop pulls me over and then just goes like, never mind, just shoots me in the back of the head. I
Yeah.
have had that fear, and it's not that crazy of a thing to be fearful of.
No,
I've
not.
seen that video on LiveLeak.
Yeah. Oh no.
You know,
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. You want to go through the
I
plot?
haven't either.
You want to go through the plot?
Yeah.
real
Let me
quick?
lay out the facts of A Scanner Darkly. Scanner Darkly is a movie from 2006 set in the near future of 2013. Probably should have gone a little further, I feel like, but this is like our favorite type of movie. Is they're like, it's a future in 7 years.
It's the Babe
Yeah.
Ruth. They're just like,
yeah,
nope,
made in 2006.
we don't even need
Yeah.
to worry
Yeah.
about setting it too far out. It's so accurate and right.
We're
2000
crushing it.
Yeah.
Directed by Richard Linklater,
Mhm.
Dazed and Confused, Boyhood, School of Rock, the Before trilogy. I like his career. It's varied.
It's all over the
Has a
place.
weird career.
He did Bad News Bears remake. I didn't
Oh
realize.
yeah.
How are you doing
He
Boyhood
clearly
and then
just
like
kind of
School of Rock?
does whatever he finds interesting,
I guess
which I
so.
kind of love.
Yeah.
Written by him as well and based on a Philip K. Dick novel. And then of course we have Keanu playing Bob Arctur/Fred
Which feels like a typo.
Bruce
Yeah, I kept feeling like he said actor, and then he
Yeah.
just added an R in there.
Arctur.
Arctur, yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. as Barris, Woody Harrelson as Ernie, Rory Cochrane, as Chad mentioned, is Freck, and then we have Winona Ryder as Donna/Hank.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the substance D, but I knew that was Donna immediately.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah. Fair enough. I honestly, genuinely didn't see that coming, and then when it was revealed, I was like, "Fuck."
You know
That's
why?
like so obvious.
I
You know
was
why you didn't think that was coming?
Why?
Because as soon as it's revealed, nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah, that's
No,
also
like,
true.
why would
the
you?
mind game of what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the like not even 4D chess, the like 8D 50 level skyscraper chess they're doing at the end of this movie.
It's 4D chess where the result is you get to flip a coin and see if it
Okay,
worked
so
at the
yeah,
end of it.
That's it. That's it.
Sorry, I'm interrupting in the middle of this.
Go ahead.
So they're trying to understand exactly what was the end game of these people here. There is a rampant drug epidemic. 20%
Yes.
of the country is addicted to drug D,
To
which also,
substance D, yes.
which also means like it's probably like 50. Yeah, reporting number. Like, so everyone's on this drug.
yes.
So there is a federal anti-drug program that is
Yes.
trying to bust it. That is so paranoid about any one of their narcs
Yes.
being spotted, they wear, which we'll talk for an hour
Yeah.
about the scramble suits.
We're going to talk about that for so
But
long.
they
They're so
are
good.
So we are putting agents to become part of the drug system, even though most of our countries hooked anyway. So it's not
Yeah.
that hard to find kind of.
Yeah.
But Keanu Reeves, you will infiltrate the drug game. Winona Ryder is your drug dealer. She clearly knows where all the drugs are coming from.
Yes.
You will befriend her, but also you will do drugs.
Yes.
And
well,
win
they
them
didn't want
over.
They
him
didn't
to do
even
drugs.
tell him that. They just knew he would.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess they planned he would.
They set him up. It's well, first of all, not even a federal program. This is specifically an Orange County sheriff's program.
Clock that, that's
He's
right, yeah.
operating out of. He is a sheriff in Orange County. That he drives a sheriff car. He goes into the sheriff's
funding is
office
so
to put
big.
on his. It's crazy, but yes,
So,
it's
yeah.
like at the end. So like it's all of this. He ends up. He's an undercover agent. He's investigating his own friends. He eventually finds out that he's investigating himself.
but doesn't realize it
But
'cause his
no
brain
one
is
knows that it's him, but he knows he's investigating himself. But it's so fucked. And then when you find out at the end, once he's like burnt out and been like dragged to New Path,
fucked. The therapy center. Yeah.
the therapy center, and sent to a farm where you find out that their New Path is growing the flower secretly, you realize that it was all a conspiracy to get Keanu addicted to the drugs and get him burnt out enough to where he doesn't really know what's going on, so he can get sent to New
but
Path.
still sober enough
hopefully
to
they
remember.
So no, they're like not even sober enough. They're literally at the end. They're like,
How will he know what to do?
they're just like, I hope something clicks.
And then he does. He magically
And then
is
he
like
kind of does at
no,
the end.
yeah, the end of that's very supposed to be like, right? Like, oh, I somewhere in my brain,
Yeah.
I remember that I'm trying to find the source of substance
Yeah.
D, little tiny blue flower
Yeah,
underneath
yeah.
the corn. I will
Yeah.
put this in my sock and bring it
Yeah.
to my friends
My
on
friends.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So they but they literally fuck him up, make him a burnout in hopes that maybe he'll get to go to the farms where they're growing these
Yeah.
things. And maybe it's like you said, a coin flip, some cop instinct in the back of his burnout brain will trigger.
Yeah. Just
And
pulls out a gun
he'll,
and starts
like-
shooting everyone.
Yeah. So it's just like it's like they reveal that twist so late, and it's so you're
Like
just
5
like,
minutes
See it
from
in
the
the
end.
movie. Yeah, it's
a
in the movie.
lot.
Yeah.
So what organization was Hank Winona Ryder from? Was she also with the OC?
She's sheriff.
She was also with the sheriff's department?
I don't know why the sheriff's department has scramble suits.
I kind of assumed that she was like a federal level, and there was
I
some bit of
don't-
like we're intercepting this other program, kind of like when the FBI and CIA don't talk to each other, sort of thing.
there was like no feds as far as I could tell, unless the guy at the end who I had never seen before,
yeah.
who she was talking
Yeah.
to, unless it was another guy in a scramble suit in the background
it
or
has
something.
to be another agency, or it's
Yeah.
even more. It's still insane.
I mean, either way, the fact that they were mostly operating out of the OC sheriff's department is very funny.
So to cut to the 4D chase thing, like you don't have to do any of that. You just have to really what you just need, unless you think that the people at New Path are so good
I know.
at identifying a faker, just have Winona Ryder or anyone just go, Yeah, I'm addicted to
Substance
I'm
D.
addicted to substance D. I'd like to work here, please.
But I think it must be that you have to, like, I don't know how New Path works. It feels very culty Scientology, and I guess they just can tell if you're truly burnt out, and then you have to be truly burnt out
For
to
someone
go
to let you
be
in there.
a slave
Yeah.
on their farm. Like, how does New Path operate? Do they just get to keep people?
Yeah, I mean, they probably work in this as a therapy system. They probably get a tax buyout, right?
Yeah.
And you
sure.
work on this corn because no one will see that underneath the corn is the little blue. I hope that corn's good. You know,
I bet that corn's
I-
amazing. I bet
That's
that
D-corn.
Hydroponic
that
corn.
that D-corn.
Makes
Dude,
you, makes you,
you
a
make
little
popcorn,
buzzed when you make
you
it.
cook
Yeah.
it, you make popcorn with that, you're fucked up. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I like that so this all makes no sense. I do like that there's a level of everyone is so paranoid of each other
Yes.
that level of, well, New Path will realize that we're onto them.
Yes.
So we have to go to this Herculean effort
Yeah.
to get a mole in there
To
who is
maybe-
actually addicted.
Yeah.
Or they'll be onto us. And the whole thing will
Yeah.
be it's an extra level of
We
paranoia.
have to create a drug-induced sleeper agent and just kind of hope for the best.
Yeah.
That whole thing being the payoff of it was
Yeah.
baffling.
It was
Like,
I'll tell you
after
what, I
all of
watched this very sober and I was like, what the fuck?
But like the scramble suits too. we
I
should talk
did
about-
it, and I was like, "What the?"
Well, this
fuck?
is the thing. It starts off so strong because it begins with the scramble suit, and I'm like, this is good world building.
Yeah.
This is fucking rad. Like, this is cool as hell. Like, so the scramble suit, once again, don't know why the sheriff's department has this. They
Maybe
must be
that's
getting
like-
federal
Are
funding.
you? Oh, wait, hold on. I will say that. Are you really that surprised when we've seen in our
No,
real
they're being
world
militarized.
police
Yeah.
departments just
Yeah.
going like, yeah, we got this from Afghanistan.
Yeah,
we got
yeah,
like,
yeah.
we're like,
No,
I
you're
can
right.
buy that they're putting way too much money into
Yeah,
scramble suits.
especially Orange County. They got money down there, of course.
It just makes me think though that those are super common in this place.
Well,
They make
I
me
don't
wonder,
know.
do you
I
go to a
got a
store
feeling
and buy
that
a
it's
scramble
more like
suit?
it might just be an Orange County thing because it's like rich white people, NIMBY like people like that's like that whole county.
Yeah,
So I could see that they'd be like funding.
we're gonna develop scramble suits.
It's
Yeah.
but it's insane because it's not actually disguise. I mean, it's disguising who you are, but it's
Yeah.
not a disguise. It is the most conspicuous
No, yeah,
thing
yeah.
in the
It's
world.
the most
Yeah.
obvious thing you could wear.
It is a giant red light all over wherever you walk going, I'm a narc. I'm a
Yeah.
narc right here.
Yeah.
But you can't know who I am.
Yeah.
So it's the equivalent of walking in somewhere with a blanket over your head. Like that's
Kinda.
all it really is.
Oh,
Because he's not, I think that's part why I was like really like I've thought about this not until this last time of like, so it's really he's not wearing the scramble suit, and to clarify for our listeners, right? Scramble suit is it's like AI, it's like an AI generated scrambler that just flashes.
it's a
Different
suit that
sections.
you
Faces.
wear. It says that it uses 1.5 million fractions of different human traits.
Yeah. And apparently
So
one of those faces was Philip K. Dick's face.
Yeah, it basically just looks like you're constantly shifting into different humans.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
no one will know who you are, though you could still tell someone's build and height and
You can't get, but it won't pick up on the facial
Yeah, it's-
recognition
it's the
or
computer-
the
it fools
voice
the computers.
recognition.
Yeah, so it's so that when you're going into work and when
Yeah.
you're going into when he's talking to, it's funny
Yeah.
at the end of the world building. I actually thought we're learning about the scramble suit and who
Yeah.
Bob Arctor is via a very dry, boring lecture to
Yeah.
local businessmen.
Yeah.
was poison to me. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
so bored.
And he's like, it's like being the suit is recording it and live feeding
Yeah, he's
his
got Zoom on
speech,
there.
and he's like, it's being piped into his boss.
but
Like,
so
there's all this stuff. Here's my thing.
yeah,
So sadly now I'm coming down off the scramble suit because I thought it was really, really cool. And now I'm
Chad's
like, do
poisoning
you
the
know
scramble
who
suit.
Scramble suit's
else
so dumb.
do you know what also would work equally as well as a scramble suit? Being Ghostface from the Scream movies.
You know
All
what?
you need is a full head to toe
exactly.
costume, all black, and then a voice box.
I'll do you one better,
voice
Kyle.
modulator.
All you need to do is call in from home. Like this because it's only the scramble
But
suit.
then they'll know where the home is.
The scramble suit is only for public appearances. It seems like we got a real
and going
life
into the
federal-
office
Going to the
because no
office,
one can know each
but
other
then you
in
take
this
your
department.
suit off when
Yeah.
you leave, so you're still seeing people leave the building, unless people are like, no one
No,
go.
that is the part that I didn't get
there
because
was like a
you're
secret exit to that de-scrambling room.
Yeah, but still, you'd have some level. It's like leaving a
But
spa
you
or
know-
a
but
gym,
you
you'd be
like-
oh hey,
But
Bob,
it's like
you're
if,
here.
if one of, but that's the thing. If like one of Bob's meth friends was like, I'm gonna follow you, like
yeah,
they would see him drive up to the sheriff's department,
Yeah.
go inside, and then that's kind of the other thing where it's like, where you kind of it starts to fall apart. Where you're like, okay, so you're gonna investigate Bob Arctor, a guy that in this police state we have seen walk into our sheriff's building
yeah.
every day for work.
And they both seem to, the government seems to be both aware and not aware that Arctor is part of the program, right? They're early on. There's a thing matching when Bob first calls Winona Ryder. I'm sorry for using characters' names. Donna. You see another person doing
Yes.
facial tracking stuff, which is
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is pretty much
So
exactly
that's
what we
like the
have now.
police state, the established sort of mild to moderate police state they
But
have.
I presumed, maybe I was wrong, that so you see this woman listening and
Yeah.
watching her, and then he's like, "Can I get some drugs from Donna?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, later." But then you see this lady hand over her head, like, "Should I report to this police?" And she goes, "No."
She says no. So she knows.
So she
that
must
he's-
know that Arctor is, well, he's an undercover agent trying to do
Yes,
this,
Yeah.
but also
No one's supposed to know.
at the sheriff's department, they don't know that he is because they have him investigating himself, like you've said.
Yeah. This movie does make sense.
There's a section where he's giving that press conference where they show it from his POV and
Yeah.
it just has like the overlay of record and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I would constantly be in like, is it on?
Is it on right?
Is it working?
I'm gonna go piss.
I'm gonna,
Is it on?
do you think you can piss in the scramble suit?
Well, apparently you can eat
can
and
eat
drink
through it,
through
yeah.
it.
Oh, I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that. What's that like?
That's
I don't
future
know,
tech right
but
there.
that's future
But
tech.
it looks like it's made from the same material that like Charlie wears on Always Sunny for Green
Yeah,
Man.
it looks
suit.
like it's a green man. So there's not really
big
a mouth hole. So he's just like slurping drink through mesh.
or you're seeing like a Muppet mouth
takes
open.
pills
through it.
Yeah,
But he does take pills and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, just openly taking substance D
At
in the
work.
middle of the sheriff's department.
yeah. But then
It's
he's
just like, what are you doing?
and then the people you think you'd most want to wear it around would be other drug users, but he doesn't. He's just himself.
yeah.
So it's
because he's investigating himself.
well, yeah. So it's like it's there. I don't know if this was intentional with OK Dick or not. It's interesting that he wears the obscure obfuscation suit in front of feds and other businessmen more, almost like any of you
Yeah.
that I'm
will
talking
narc
to
on me.
could narc on me and could be a substance D user.
Yeah.
There's almost like more care given to the bureaucrats than the Robert Downey Jr. and OC working
Yeah.
on a bike.
because they're actually burnouts.
There's
They have
actually
no
burnouts, yeah.
financial
Yeah.
benefit from this. They're just burnouts. Those
Yeah.
other people could be in on like the profits of it,
Yeah.
and they don't want people to like was it New Path?
New path.
Yeah.
New Path in on
Yeah.
the stakeout that's happening.
So much tax money is being wasted on this.
Oh,
on this
it's
event.
it's rampant tax abuse. Like, this is not where I want my money. If I saw that the LA County Sheriff's Department was like, we bought scramble suits, I'd be like, you guys can't do this.
But again, it would be like
Stop.
They would.
Also, why?
they would, and also it would only be
Useless.
The scramble suit would only be for when I drive into work
Yes.
and I put this giant $1 million suit on,
Yeah.
my pajamas.
We're
and I
all
drive
secret
in-
sheriffs.
I drive into work. You see me park at the sheriff's station. I go in, and then I come out wearing my sheriff outfit. You never knew who I was.
At some point, doesn't Keanu actually drive a sheriff's car up to the building? Like,
I don't.
I swear to
remember.
Christ. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, LAPD would, LA County sheriffs,
They have
absolutely.
like Porsches
LAPD.
and stuff they'll spend
Yeah.
their money on. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah. They
Let's-
got scramble suits.
Let's talk about the D for a minute,
Okay.
Okay.
because we've talked on this show many times about
Future drugs.
future drugs.
We fucking love future drugs.
And-
That's an obsession of Joey and I.
I
It's-
also like future drugs.
Yeah.
It's always the best when
It's-
someone goes full Looney Tune with
Yeah.
a future drug.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Substance D is a weak name.
Yes.
It is very
Yes.
weak.
It's placeholder name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never went back and fixed it.
I will say, having
on
seen a
meth.
lot of future drugs that are just pills,
yeah.
but also they only tell you the bad parts of this.
There's no good aspect
Yeah,
of
they
substance
don't
state.
say what it is.
They're
That-
like, you're on it or you're not. You hallucinate, your hemispheres separate.
yeah.
But there was nowhere in that where it was like, this is why you
The
take it.
insinuation is, the insinuation is that it's so good
Yeah.
that if you just try it, you're addicted.
But
Like,
we never
everyone is,
see-
but no one's like, what do you get? Like, do you get like the best heroin trip of your life?
Yeah.
But like, it's needleless. Like, do you just get euphoria? Do you
I
fucking
assume
come? Like, what do you
It's
do?
nonstop orgasm.
Non-stop coming.
I assumed hallucinations were part of it, but good ones. But yeah, we only see like we start. I think
when people's brains unravel.
Yeah, we're seeing Freck and like him having not even withdrawal. I guess it's withdrawal because he's not having it in a day.
It's
or
his
whatever.
brain is so separated. It's kind of it's in that like Robert Downey Jr. rant. They sort of explain they're like you've pushed through into another echelon of addiction where it's turning on you.
Yeah,
and you're like your hemispheres are separated, whatever that's called, the cross chatter, and like now you're kind of fucked. Real. Like you're which I actually loved the cross chatter explanation, which was that your left logical hemisphere of your brain is shutting down, so your creative right side is filling in reality gaps,
which
so
is what makes the
like
look of the movie work, I think.
So that really works. But yeah, no one is ever like, this is the best.
You never see. I was thinking a lot of like the opening of Dread, which God, I wish we could just talk about.
Which
Dread.
you totally get why that drug's
when
rad.
those guys are doing slow mo in the middle of a shootout. And
Yeah,
you're like, I get why this guy is blissfully euphoric right now.
Yeah,
and this world sucks. So I would see why someone would escape to slow mo.
Absolutely.
And then you're seeing also the devastation it's doing on this community. There's never a single guy like rainbows and having a good time and cinnamon buns everywhere.
I mean, I guess it's sort of I guess they're just like, it's so supposed to be a stand-in for like legal pharmaceuticals, like, which is not, I don't ever think of any drugs like that as being, I mean, they're clearly highly addictive and awesome, but like, they're not, but they're mostly like euphoric. Well, I
this
just mean they're
podcast
like
officially endorses the opioid crisis.
We love it. But I mean, like, but they're not like cool drugs. They're just like, oh, I feel euphoric and like everything's kind of muted. It's not like you're not coming or like something like that.
You keep going to coming.
I've never done any drugs that have been like,
I just don't know. I'm like,
if
20 to 50% of the nation are addicted to it, why are they taking it if they're not coming?
It's funny that I guess it's not funny.
It's pretty funny.
No, that part's funny. The part I was gonna say is not funny. It reminds me of like depiction of meth, I guess, in media. Like you never see like the happy meth
but
addict.
I get what method you're like, I get more hours in the day, baby. I never gotta sleep. I feel great.
But you're used to seeing I can't shake Breaking Bad out of my room. But like that the version of it, you're only seeing the kind of the bad versions of it.
But it's like I understand meth because I've taken Adderall in college and was like, this is great. This is really helping me out. But also I was like, maybe I need this. But I can kind of understand, but this is like they never lay it out for you. It feels very generic.
This is a really random, obscure reference. But here's what I think that it does. There's a movie called The Voices.
Haven't heard of it.
Oh yeah, the Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, that one where he talks to his dog and stuff.
Yeah.
It's where he's living in his house and he gets on meds.
Yeah.
And then he sees like how shit and gross his whole living situation is. And there's like dead people in the fridge or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then he doesn't take the meds and everything looks perfect because he goes back to being like nuts.
So you're thinking it sort of affects the reality and makes you sort of feel like things are chill.
Yeah.
I don't live in squalor.
Exactly.
I feel great.
Yeah.
Sure, I could buy that.
If that's how it works, I think that's great.
Because there's no, like, when they take it,
I'll take it.
they're not like, oh.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they seem functional.
Yeah.
I mean,
he takes it at
they-
work.
But they're also doing a bunch of other drugs. That's the thing. Because, like, they're on it, but then they're also, like, smoking weed and, like, doing other shit. So it's like, but, like, yeah, when they're in the car and they have the breakdown of the car, like, they clearly take it, I don't know, to, like, calm down or, like, feel better. But they're still, like, they're basically burnt out, but they are functioning, I guess.
You're right. I think that's the point that all of these characters are only holding back the side effects at this point, right?
Yeah.
You're taking D to keep yourself from seeing, well, there's aphids all over me and I'm scratchy and itchy. That part does feel like, I mean, I've had time on weed where I'm like, I'm really anxious and anxiety and I think the cops are going to bust down my door right now. And so like they nailed that aspect of it. But
those
you're
bugs,
just...
The bug thing really
made me
really
itch.
upset.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
You love aphids?
I loved how they hit it that level, and
Yeah.
Freck just going, well, now I gotta clean my dog, and now I think I'm
Yeah.
seeing more. And
Yeah,
the
and
Freck stuff's-
collecting them in
yeah,
a jar. The Freck stuff is
the best stuff.
easily the best stuff in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entire movie. So good, acting his balls off.
Yeah,
really
100%.
great.
Can I ask you guys about not jumping to Freck? Best part of
can.
the whole movie, and it's funny. So I was sharing this with my partner, and I think just a testament to this scene.
Yes.
My partner Heidi was like, "I'm over this. I can't do this anymore."
Yeah.
Around the time that Freck was visualizing Robert Downey Jr. visualizing a woman getting naked,
Yeah.
she's like, "I'm
Yeah.
out."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I get it. Let me show you the best scene in the movie." And I jumped to when Freck decides to kill himself,
Yes.
and he takes.
Amazing.
And it's so funny, and
It's
apparently
an
that is like
amazing
word for word
sequence.
from the
There's-
book. A
yeah.
lot of this,
There's like a narrator going
Yeah.
through
yeah,
the whole
they're coming on the
segment.
radio. I read that I guess like
Yeah.
Linklater wanted that to be at some point. Philip K. Dick had read of that scene on the radio
They wanted it
sometime,
to be him.
but like the quality wasn't good enough, so they got
Okay.
this other actor to do it. Best part of the whole movie, it becomes like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas he thinks he took like, the wrong type of drugs to kill himself with a
Yeah.
bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
a
like,
nice bottle.
Yeah.
yeah.
He picks up the
I love
stand
it.
or whatever.
Yeah, and-
or Anne Rand.
No, I want to
Yeah.
ask you. So, is that a joke that he picks up Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead to
It
die with?
clearly must be.
There's no way Philip K. Dick is like, that's the best book in the world.
No,
right?
I mean, but
you-
maybe it feels
Or
like a
did Freck
dig
think
at
it
it, like
is?
a contemporary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I want to feel important.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hold this.
This will be my symbol of my death, that I wasn't a scene for my greatness or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And then fails to kill himself as
Yeah.
a cosmic being reads him all of his sins. for
Amazing,
eternity.
an amazing design.
So
for the,
funny.
The creature from between dimensions, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Who did the intro?
Who did the intro?
Yeah.
Who did our intro?
If the whole movie had been that, it'd be one of my favorite
See,
movies of all
that's
time.
where I thought the turning point was going to
Yeah.
be. Having not seen it before, I was like, oh, now it's about to get really weird. And I'm super into that. And then it didn't. It got weird in a bad
And
way.
then nothing
It
It
got
got back to them
bad,
arguing
it got-
over gears and a bike.
Yeah, which I hate that sequence. And I know
I
you
was
guys
just
loved
gonna
it.
say
My
I
second
fucking was into it.
My
I
second
fucking
favorite scene is the gear
hated
bike.
it.
Yes.
That
love
was
it.
like a scene where I was like, nothing's happening in this movie. I don't know what these characters are doing. It feels like in fucking it feels only slightly better than when fucking Statham and The Rock improvise in Hobbs and Shaw.
No,
like,
that's way better. That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I don't even remember that part.
That is the worst thing committed to film.
Yeah,
This is
think
better.
I think the gear bike scene is my second favorite scene because it's nothing,
yeah.
but it is. Oh, these people have lost their
yeah,
goddamn
these people are
minds.
they're living in a different
They're
reality.
just building themselves up. There's something
Yeah.
like it goes from like 0 to 60 in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Of, I got a bike deal to like you got ripped off. We should go kill that guy.
Yeah.
And like I was like I don't think I know how bikes work anymore.
Yeah.
In terms like that level is great.
I enjoyed just watching them, like their rationale to get to the next bit of that. I thought
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
should be
fair
on
enough.
Substance D.
Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I just wasn't on a drug
But
that
they're
was
also
making me
awful.
come enough.
They're awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're awful people. I wouldn't
Yeah,
want
they
to
do
be
suck.
with them.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Meanwhile, Keanu Reeves and Donna are just like hanging out on the couch going, "Can you believe these two?"
I love these guys.
These guys-
Oh,
guys.
they're the best. I love them living in my house. It's awesome. It's such a weird. Yeah, I didn't like them, but
Would this
God,
movie still be something people remember if it wasn't drawn on top of?
no.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't-
Keanu heads would probably still have like good scene and.
But like, think of this movie without it.
It would be so boring.
It would be so boring.
Absolutely just
Yeah,
unwatchable.
It does. Besides being a gimmick, I think it does. One of you said it does leans into sort of the blurriness of reality really
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't ever seen Waking Life, but I know what it looks like, and I
It
find
looks
that,
worse than this.
I find that unpleasant to watch.
Yeah,
but I
It's
understand-
harder to watch in Waking
I
Life.
understand how, and there's times in this going like, oh, for 2006, that was probably good, but now.
Yeah.
It's like a car doesn't animate; they just have it slide across the screen like a paper doll at one point.
Yeah.
Well, that's more what Waking Life looks like on all of it.
On all of it?
It's this feels like every actor had multiple shades floating on top of them at all times. In Waking Life, sometimes like an entire arm will just be one single piece.
Oh boy,
It was like the prototype
yeah.
for this.
I read it. I read they
Interesting.
shot it in under a month. Everyone took like scale
for Waking Life.
for this one.
Oh, for this
like
one, yeah,
Keanu
yeah.
and Winona at least took scale rate, and
Yeah.
then they spent 18 months animating it.
And
But
then
it
they
had been
fired all
locked.
the animators.
They fired all the animators, didn't give them, but they like edited it, locked the edit, and then just sent it to animators to like just draw over this
Yeah.
wild.
for a year and a half.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, it has a cool look, especially for the time,
Mhm.
and it does like. I like that it allows you to seamlessly transition to people are turning into cockroaches.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The being from between dimensions shows up to read sins. Like that was my whole thing. I was like, oh, the last 20 minutes, I was like, this movie's gonna get fucking weird.
No,
and then it
no.
fucking didn't.
No.
And
They
it was a bummer.
They need to remake Naked Lunch with this style.
Okay, yeah.
That I think
Yeah.
I like replace the RoboCop guy. I forget his name.
Peter Weller.
Replace Peter Weller version,
Peter Weller.
or even just draw on top.
Peter
of the
Weller
Peter
won Oreo.
Peter Weller won an
I don't know what the fuck he's
Robo
talking
won
about.
an
Substance D.
Oreo.
Give me Substance D right now.
Give me Substance D. Robo wants Substance D.
Can I ask, because you said anyone remember this, otherwise the other big hook of this is the scramble suits, which we should talk about the logistics of scramble suits even more, but that's his only other kind of really unique thing. And well, yeah,
In terms of the future,
yeah, sci-fi
like,
concept,
I would
yeah.
say the sci-fi things are that the police state, which is
The tracking.
a
Yeah, that whole-
dystopia thing, the
That whole
tracking
sequence where they're like
yeah,
hearing a phone call,
yeah,
then they're able to find where he
Yeah.
is,
Mhm.
yeah,
pull up his info, and then there's
Yeah.
just a thing where it's like,
Yeah.
initiate arrest? No.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like all of that was automated.
My favorite part of that whole thing was that I'm sure there's come up with graphics, but to try to make the logic work is like while Keanu's walking, there's like a generation of what his like wireframe Minecraft model would look like.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you guys saw it.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, that's a Keanu walk. We've identified
we go.
Keanu. Yeah.
We did it. We found his gate. But it's like there's that. Then there's the I feel like very high tech, very small cameras they install in Arctor's house,
Yeah.
and then
The projector. The brain projector, if you will.
the 3D tit projector.
As soon
Where
as
I
he
was
did
like,
that,
I don't know what that's for.
well, as soon as he did that, I'm like, his coworkers can see he's just blowing up these tits.
He's
over
just
here.
looking at tits. But then you're like, oh, these guys are cops. They must be doing this all
You
the
know
time.
what they predicted is they predicted goon caves. Is what they did.
Well, kind of. They give him a goon cave. They're like, and also when you're when you're an undercover sheriff, you have to edit. You have to be an
Yeah.
Oh, you
editor,
have to be an
Joey.
editor.
You're primed to be a future undercover sheriff.
This is the job postings I see on fucking LinkedIn. It's
Yeah.
like, we want an editor. Also, you need to be an undercover FBI agent. Also, you need to be a field producer and star and all this stuff.
How great would it be though to like, I'm gonna arrest this guy, but I'm gonna do a fan cam edit of just like my favorite 5 minutes of his week before we bust him.
set to like a Beyonce song.
Yeah,
Set
yeah.
to
So,
hold- Texas Hold'em.
hold him. Quick flat zoom ins.
I didn't understand that. I was like, damn, they just gave him an edit bay. That's weird. Okay, I guess that's part of the job.
Well, I don't know what the practical use. The only
What's
thing
his job? Is it to hang out and be undercover, or is it to edit?
He's
Like
gotta come back in the
clips.
after hours and make
Yeah.
the best of. He's a YouTuber.
So weird.
what is the point of let's puzzle out the purpose of the 3D projector
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So he uses it to look at someone's face and then put them in reality to look around them.
Look, it could be
Because she was topless.
Yes.
It was just the moment it had happened. He's
Yeah.
just like, I saw two different things.
Yeah.
I want to know what I'm actually seeing.
Yes.
Let's put it into this physical space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Topless woman floating in the middle of a police precinct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Violation of privacy.
For one. But I don't think that really exists.
Yeah, they
anymore.
don't
No,
really
they don't
care.
seem to care. Yeah.
But other than putting someone into like, I don't know why we developed this because it will help us find someone's face when they're in shadows.
I know what it is.
What is
Or at least this would be my if I was writing the good version of this.
So you can
where it would
pretend to,
be,
like-
it would be like, oh, you have a crime scene, bring it up and we could say, oh, is that a clue here? Okay, I have a 3D scan of the space and I can see like, oh, wedged under the bed is like a
Yeah.
wallet or like a
Is-
clue or something like that.
Is that
Like-
what Minority Report did too? They had that same level of the precogs. I thought it's been a while since I've seen it, but you could visualize holodeck.
I couldn't.
Out
I don't
the-
know if I
out
remember
the
that, but
scene.
there's definitely been movies and
Yeah.
shows that have used that sort of thing where
To
it's
help
like,
you think
oh, we're
about it in a
rebuilding.
different.
Yeah, we're entering a 3D space of the crime scene, so I can see it. So that is what I think the real use is, though.
He used it for how people would actually.
Yeah,
use
yeah.
it.
Oh, a police precinct full of cops and dirty, gross dudes, yeah, there's titties up there all the time.
Yeah.
And there's no way that he wouldn't have been like, guys, you got to get over here. You got to check
The
these
one
out.
and the one female cop that's like, I don't think this is right, has been pushed out of the cops for this point already.
No, no. Well, I guess not. Well, or just
it's
yeah,
Fred.
Donna's just
Fred's
complacent.
like, yes, I love those boobs.
I love boobs.
I think
Hank, I love those boobs. I have boobs. No, I don't. Shut up. Not at all. No, shut up.
Weren't those hers? Or not?
or not. We don't know.
They're not.
We don't know if it's
They were
on
the
there or
other
not.
lady.
We
Yeah,
don't
they're the
know.
other lady's boobs, but he was having a trip
Yes.
here where he was.
He
I
saw
don't even
her.
think if you definitively know whether or not. By
Oh,
the
do
end
you
of
think
that.
it may have been Donna? Like they did have sex?
I took this thing as a place of like because they're so vague about what their relationship is.
Well, she
Yeah.
didn't want to be touched.
well, she
by
didn't
him.
want to fuck him because she's his boss,
Yeah, she
and
didn't
she's
want.
setting him up
Was that
to
before or after
like
the boob
get
scene?
burnt out.
It was before.
It was
But
before.
see, yeah, eventually maybe things pass.
So
and then-
maybe
yeah.
she was like, "I'll fuck you."
I don't think she did.
Have you?
I don't think she
seen
did.
The natural chemistry that Keanu and Winona have on other movies and on set. Not
Yeah.
in this movie, actually. No chemistry in this
No,
movie.
no, no. But I
Maybe,
mean,
yeah.
I've
They're-
watched
they're
Bram
like in love
Stoker's
with each other.
Dracula.
I don't-
They're great.
I haven't seen it.
She's great.
Oh,
They're great.
in interviews when they're talking about movies, they are just blooming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell he's want to like get married right then and there.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
No, seriously, I usually
They
like,
have amazing chemistry.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a
Uh,
reason why they're paired up in so many movies. Like,
Yeah, there's some
They're-
interview from a recent movie where they're both like, I had a crush on you. I had a crush on you when we were younger. And you're like,
oh,
it's like, oh, you guys should get married. Get
out,
married.
shut
Get
up.
married again. I know you're married. Just
Again.
both get married.
Okay.
The part about Donna being Hank, by the way, because I was like really wanted to see what was different between the book. Sounds like the book is very similar, including like a lot of the
Yes.
lines,
Yeah.
dialogue. But I think one thing different in the book,
Far too respectful.
almost too respectful, is that
Definitely.
I think they changed it in the book. Donna wasn't Hank.
Oh, that's huge.
That was one of the few differences that mentioned was that like
It probably would be better if that wasn't the case.
Wait, like,
Would
with-
it though? Because it's the only thing that makes sense.
but Hank was just was his supervisor and was still manipulating
But
him
why
to do
not
this
play
thing.
with that? It makes way more
Yeah.
sense. Honestly, it's all convoluted. But I'm like, if she wasn't Hank, it's honestly even dumber.
but
like
to
at
have-
least I was like, that's kind of a clever reveal, and I kind of understand. It kind of recontextualizes their relationship.
does-
Like I kind of get why she's being such like. I mean, basically a bunch of times with movies, everyone's like, "Damn, Donna's a cock tease, fucking asshole."
It does mean when Donna is Hank, it does mean that there are two high-level government agents.
Yes.
Staking out this
Once again,
shitty
you-
home.
Same place.
Once
In the
again,
same place.
local OC sheriffs,
That seems like it just seems like a lot. They're
Local
on salary.
sheriffs.
There's
local sheriffs.
They're salaried employees.
Yes.
and putting all of their energy into this dumb house where neither Robert Downey Jr. or Woody Harrelson have any leads.
They have no idea.
No idea
What's
what's going
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they're all wasting their time.
yeah. And I don't even know what Downey Jr. like Barris. I don't know what his deal is. If he's just like why is
He
he
seems
trying to
just like a
turn in
dingus.
Bob?
Yeah.
Like why is he?
They said
why
they
does
wanted
he
to
do
make
anything?
him paranoid so that he would do that.
Oh yeah, if we would
Yeah.
push him enough, he would reveal his sources.
But I think that was just what they were telling Keanu.
Yes, I
'Cause
think it was
Keanu
all
was
a
the
lie.
point.
Keanu, because ultimately, yeah, I think. But it was just like I guess Barris was just crazy enough, and they knew that it would at least seem. I don't.
It
know.
would seem to Keanu like they had a goal.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe they're just having fun with him. Again, maybe they're like, you know what, we're not going to find substance deep, but like,
Yeah.
let's push these guys' buttons. You know that Always Sunny where like Mac and Dennis get really excited about just watching the two old ladies at home in the edit bay.
Oh, yeah.
It's just them
Yeah.
doing that. Like, let's
Yeah.
just pick these two. Let's just push their buttons. Let's unlock their door so they think someone broke in. Like,
That would
let's
have been really fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish that was it. I wish they were building a
Could have
sitcom.
been it.
Yeah.
This is our new big brother.
Yeah, that could have been it.
I would like to go back to my notes here
Please.
a couple times because we've talked
Please.
about almost all
Your
of them.
4 notes.
Yeah. So right underneath the visual pursuit and listening to calls, I have 2 of my one-line world buildings
Okay, great.
that I picked out. The first one, and this was probably just the substance D talking, but I
Yeah.
found this line very profound and how accurate it still is today.
Mhm.
This is a world getting progressively worse.
Yes.
It's just as a blanket
Barris
statement.
says that.
Yeah.
Is a blanket statement on just like the
Yeah.
place of the world in general. And
Yeah.
I feel like at any given time, that is accurate.
Yeah.
At some point, we'll be at a point to where it can't get any worse.
Yeah.
But it feels like even in 2006, that was already it's like when you think of people who complained about Bush,
Yeah.
and you're like,
This is the
you
worst
haven't
it
seen
gets.
Trump yet.
Yeah.
Like it just keeps getting worse.
yeah.
But also, it's the drug-addled vision of a man. So even though I think there's some truth there, it's like, is any of Barris's view on the world correct?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was at one point,
Maybe,
but now
yeah.
he's fried. But
Yeah.
like, I like after he said that, I just sat there staring at like my computer. And I'm like, oh
That
my
is
god,
a substance D.
oh my god, he's absolutely right.
That's right.
And it's still right. 20 fucking years
I mean,
later.
case in point, I think this where they're living right now straight up just feels like Huntington Beach
Yeah.
in
It
2024.
felt very
like right now.
I've been to Bakersfield and it felt very
Yeah.
Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels bad.
So on top of that, I have one more one-line world building.
Yeah.
Please.
$3 can get you a lot of Coke.
Okay, so that was another
Coca-Cola.
So that
I
was
don't think that's what it meant.
So that was another thing. Am I supposed to believe that that's real, that they got cocaine from him doing that, or that he's a crazy person that thinks he's getting cocaine?
No,
like
I think
laundry detergent.
Substance D has made all other drug markets
Oh
bottom
my
out.
god, weed's
Yeah.
probably just like free.
Yeah.
Well, that
Like
sounds nice.
I think because everyone's on Substance D, Coke people are like, no one's fucking buying this. It was expensive,
Yeah.
and no one likes it as much as Substance D.
Yeah.
So the $3 can buy you a lot of Coke.
yeah, I could buy that. The 20%.
No, but that's when he does the sequence where he literally means that because he goes and buys that spray and then he sprays it into a bag and then he's like, then I'm going to put it in the freezer
Yeah.
and then it'll crystallize and then you got cocaine.
That's just air
I
duster.
don't remember that
No,
at
no, no.
all.
You misunderstood that. He's not talking about buying real cocaine. I think he's crazy.
I'm making
and he
coke.
gets like maybe the process makes something that looks like cocaine, but he definitely is like, and I don't remember if there's a reason if they like wanted to sell it or like wanted to snort it or like
yeah.
I don't know, but I was like, once again, no one has a grip on reality in this entire movie.
Yeah.
And I find that exhausting. Like I don't find, once again,
Donna-
in as a pitch
Yeah.
for the material, I think it's a very cool pitch. It is exhausting to watch and not pleasant. Like, because you're not grounded in anything. Like, you're not even really grounded in Keanu's POV
No.
because he's totally unreliable the entire time.
And even the scenes that are grounded have
Yeah.
constantly flashing different faces over.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't mind I don't mind a movie with an unreliable narrator, but that's like an
Unreliable narrative.
it's something even
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
unreliable narrative, unreliable reality, like there's just like nothing to hang your hat on in this entire movie. Like, except at the very end when Donna's like, I'm Hank and we did this thing, and you're like,
Why?
fuck me. Okay.
They
This
gotta
seems like a
get
gamble,
a
y'all.
real legit brain dead person in there. They gotta get a simple man.
A
who can
simple
find
man, a
flower.
simple Jack.
A simple Jack. Here's a question: can you act? Is that aerosol trick? Because I had a bunch of friends.
I
in
don't
Indiana.
think so.
I had a bunch of friends in Indiana, but you guys, that was my local drug.
Oh,
of-
you
of
can
high school
puff.
was
Yeah,
air
sure.
duster. I didn't do it.
Ugh.
I
Air
never did it.
duster, whippets.
But I had friends who like lost their brains.
That
to whip
seems-
yeah,
why
that'll
not?
put
Very-
holes in you.
very quickly lost their brains to whippets.
Yeah.
an air duster. But is that a
Is
thing I
it-
could do? You like spray it in the bag and put it
I
in the
don't.
freezer?
I don't think so.
Is that
I mean,
even,
maybe
like-
it is. I read it as it was a crazy person thing. Like, that's not real.
Mm.
should try
That's
it.
just them being fucked up.
I think this means it's art.
Oh, it might be. It might mean it's art.
I think this might be art.
Yeah, this
guys.
entire. I mean, they painted over the whole thing. We know it's art.
That's right. Arts are drawn.
Yeah, arts are drawn.
So do you think there are commercially civilian available scramble suits? Like, do you
I
think-
bet they'd be
I
too
don't. I don't
much.
think they've happened. I don't think they've hit the market yet. But
Yeah.
maybe. I bet there's rich people.
I
that
bet you could
have
get
them
them off
for
a
sex
tape-
parties.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
You could probably get them off a future TV.
I bet it's billionaire rich people sex parties. I
Oh,
bet you
yeah.
can get them. They're way too expensive, but like if you're a
as
celebrity
you can
and you
insert
want to go
stuff through-
fuck, Like, yeah, as long as it has like a little zip for your wiener to
Oh
come
yeah,
out
it's
of.
like when Amish people have sex through a curtain or whatever that is.
yeah,
Mormons.
through the hole in the sheet.
Yeah, so it's like wearing a snuggie and you just got your
Yeah,
genitals
and you
sticking
just
out.
kind of get it out.
But I don't know.
But also
I-
that sucks if you're like fucking someone
And you're just, like,
they're
flashing
just,
a
like,
bunch of faces?
Yeah, and you're like,
You can't even tell what their body's like or their face
yeah,
is
you-
like.
like
at
I guess you
all.
could feel it through the suit, but it's not really. It's kind of losing what I would think would be fun about sex,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But also, everyone on Substance D doesn't like sex anymore.
Yeah.
They also note that,
Oh yeah.
or they kind of note that, but then Keanu fucks. So I
Well,
don't
of
know.
course he does.
Yeah.
That's
Also, I
Keanu,
made a
though.
note immediately that I was like, "Damn, I can't believe we didn't see cartoon sex." And then later, the next scene, he's playing it back. I was like, "Oh, they went for it." There's a lot of cartoon sex actually.
Some
We just
animator had to
fast-forwarded to
paint
it.
over the boobs for like a month.
They just fast forwarded through it.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be some. I'm trying to think of what would be the recreational of the stealth suits. The
I think
scramble
that you
suits.
could do a scramble suit. Okay, once again, I'm just stuck on the orgy thing. I think you could just do one that's a mask, like a
Yeah.
hood.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
then
better.
so you just do the scramble mask, but like everything else. So
Okay,
like
yeah.
hopefully you just don't have any identifying tattoos or scars.
Yeah.
That
Or
people know.
you could just get them with the boobs and genitals cut out.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, you like just cut out the tits.
But that means like something in the middle of coitus, like whatever you're into shifts to like I don't know, Harlan Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know, or whatever. I don't know why.
But
it's
just
like,
a piece of them.
And it gets stuck.
yeah, you're like, oh no, don't shift to the next thing.
Oh no, I'm fucking Rocket Man. Oh no.
But just his eye.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
his
this
eyeball.
is one right eye, and like that part doesn't do it for me. So you're
That
like,
eye
watching
is
that part.
Harlan Williams.
Oh no, that eye's frozen.
That
It's Harlan
eye
Williams.
is the creator of Puppy Dog
Oh
Pals.
no.
It's like sexual roulette.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Sounds like
yeah.
a challenge.
Yeah.
At least like an X-Men Mystique's like, well, I can shift during.
Yeah. I could
You
be
know,
whoever you wanted if
one
I
and-
wanted to.
Yeah, like, but just constantly
When
being on a
Mystique
ramp.
shifts into a man, does she have a penis? Have they
Sure.
addressed that?
I would guess yes, because at least I'm trying to think of like I hate them reference in the movie when she turns into Wolverine,
Yeah.
she gets the claws,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the claws aren't adamantium, but she gets the claws.
But yeah. So you're
If you
thinking
cut off
definitely a boner. If you're getting
Mystique's-
claws, you're getting dick.
If you
Yeah.
cut off Mystique's Wolverine claws, is it like a
Yeah.
piece of flesh?
She seemed to really hate it.
If you cut it off?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd
she
imagine.
got cut off, and she was like, "Ow!"
Ow. Yeah.
It
If
hurts
you were
me.
Mystique
Ow.
and you were a girl and you were doing it,
Yeah.
and then you turned into a dude, would your Mystique vagina slowly push out the other dude? And because it's turning into a wiener?
Are you saying with the dicks meet?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, like if you were mid sex.
Yeah.
Like if it would just like close up and then all of a sudden your dick is underneath some balls.
That's how docking happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how they invented it.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, I
This is
digress.
good. I digress. X-Men's cool.
I'm trying to think of any other.
I gotta read more X-Men.
Yeah, I hope they cover that in X-Men '97. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're gonna, I'm trying to get any other use of the scramble suit. I thought it was interesting. Only that, like there's some real world stuff doing that now, not scramble suit, but like have you guys seen kind of like younger hacktivist type stuff doing like, oh hey, here's face makeup that'll throw off like face recognition
sure.
software.
No.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like spheres on your face.
I'm
that'll
not doing
hopefully throw-
anything where I would need to hide my face.
but to avoid the minority report of it
Yeah.
all and everything, you
yeah.
can. That's already that, or things that clothing that reflects like
sure.
lenses.
Yeah.
So there is a level or an interest now of having sort of like
Yeah.
anti-surveillance fashion.
Well, it's
the
'cause those-
scramble suit's just the worst way.
Well,
to do
I was
it.
watching something as simple as like the Daily Show did a segment about this wiener that was narking on people that had license plates that like sat at a certain that covers for your license plates
Mhm.
that are at a certain angle, and so they wouldn't show up on like capture like speed cams and
Great.
stuff like that. So like there's already there's a ton of stuff like that on the market.
Just
right
the scramble
now.
suit's the dumbest way to do it. To have a
The
giant.
scramble suit, I'm like thinking also scramble suit, like once you're like go rob a 7-Eleven in a scramble suit. Like it feels like it actually is
Arrest
more
all scramble suit people.
but it feels like it's way more of a problem for the law than a boon to the law. Like as
Yeah.
soon as that is created, you're like,
Outside of
okay, any criminal activity ever, that is only helpful to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's I was like, why scramble suits in this? And reading about the book.
Why scramble suits in this?
Why
Why scramble suits in this? Why are you doing this?
Because it's neat to look at.
It's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it probably was really hard to do.
I guess supposedly it was not Philip K. Dick's idea. He wrote this story about the drug conspiracy and the therapy system doing everything, and then his editor was like, "Hey, you're a sci-fi writer.
You should put a sci-fi.
You should put something sci-fi in there."
It does feel
and
like
then proposed scramble suits, and he put it in there. I mean, clearly used
that. And
it.
then he
for
also
some,
proposed boob projector. And what if there was a thing where you could fondle pictures? And Philip K. Dick's like, yeah, I guess so.
Sure, fine.
Yeah, all right. I'll
Can I
throw
still
it in
make
there.
it about
Ah,
my meth house? Yeah,
you
sure.
pervert. All
Yeah.
right, we'll do it.
Future meth house.
Future meth house.
Yeah.
Near future meth house.
There's nothing different in the house. Also, there's no like.
There's
Also,
no, like,
I
future
couldn't
tech
tell.
using
I
that.
also genuinely couldn't tell if he had a wife and kids that he was like divorced from,
Who,
or
Bob
like,
or
yeah, Bob, Fred, Bruce. Why is he Bruce at the end?
Oh yeah. I guess because he'd forgotten who he was so much.
I
Maybe
don't
they rename
know.
everyone once they.
He
burn
may
out.
be, but like, did
I
he?
think he
Do you
did.
think he did?
I think he did.
What?
I like Keanu had a family at one point,
Sure.
and then got bored of it. Like that was basically just Philip K. Dick writing himself
Into it,
into
right?
it.
Yeah,
But I think that
I was
was all-
divorced, and then
Yeah, he so Philip K. Dick thinks he just got bored and like saw his life extended in front of him and was infinitely bored by it, but really he was on meth.
I just want to do meth.
Can you imagine like having a family if he was still married and he's like, all right, guys, I gotta go. Kids, I gotta go into work. Kiss me on the head. Kiss me on my scramble suit. I gotta put this on. PJs.
Bye, love you.
Love you.
See
Goodbye.
you later.
Yeah. Start taking
I'm a
D.
lot of people. Look at me.
Are you nude under the scramble suit?
No,
No.
they
Oh, yeah,
never
she takes
were.
it off.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
I think you.
I
should
do
be.
wonder how the
I think you should be.
ventilation is. I wonder if there's like
Oh, I bet
cooling
it's
systems.
awful. I bet it's terrible.
I bet it's
Sweat-
bad.
Yeah, I think it's just really
I bet
sweaty.
it's. I bet it's heavy. I bet
has
it's like
to be.
heavy. I bet it sits
Because you
heavy
can
on
see
you.
like
Yeah.
that line,
like a weighted
around.
blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, why I don't think it'd be good for orgies. I don't think it's a very sexual suit.
Well, he's saying just a hood.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying a hood.
Yeah,
Sure.
cut the head off. Just
Yeah,
do
yeah,
the
yeah.
face.
Okay.
Or Joey's saying the cutouts.
Just the boobs and the genitals.
and the butt.
Yeah, I've always
And the
wanted
the boobs, the genitals, the butt.
just windows.
What else? What else are people into? The feet. The armpits.
Two fucking,
All right.
You can flash different feet. I bet they would be in
Well,
there.
here's
you
the whole
can-
thing.
yeah.
The beauty of the scramble suit is like once you get it, you're like, okay, well, what's my fetish? Okay, well, I should cut out the pits. I should cut out the butt. I should
Yeah,
cut
they're like
out the front.
tearaways. You can like
Yeah.
rip
Oh,
off the-
or you design it and it's sort of
Velcro
like
patches.
old school long underwear, like in a cartoon.
It's like long johns.
yeah, long johns.
I'm ready now.
Vlock. Got it.
Thumbs in. Just
Well, if you're nude underneath it,
The scramble shoot should make you nude. You
well,
should
that's what I was
recognize-
gonna say.
Yeah.
Is it like suddenly you're seeing a bunch of 1.5 million people's dick and balls and vaginas?
yeah, I think so.
If I'm wearing a scrambled suit and my investigation makes me go down to Wii Spa
Yeah.
and I need to send in a spa to I need to strip
Just
down. So
sweat through that suit.
yeah, so you got to put that on and
It would
yeah.
stick. It would stick.
Oh, you know it'd stick. I bet it. Oh,
Stick.
oh man, it's in all your erogenous zones.
Androgynous.
Sticking. That's so funny. That's so funny.
It's funny too because my last note is the 3D space projector, and that's apparently where I tapped out. I'm like, that's the only other thing we
Yeah.
need to know.
We don't have that yet, right? We don't have.
We
I mean,
don't.
We're working towards 3D